They never saw the fall coming because they never looked up. My name is Ava, 34, second daughter, lifelong afterthought. In our house, praise was currency, and my older sister, Lauren, had always been the one holding the purse. My victories were greeted with the same energy people reserve for a weather report. Noted, then forgotten. Straight A report cards, scholarships, the first job offer out of grad school. Each one met with a polite, "That's nice," before the conversation swung back to Lauren's latest drama or shopping haul. My parents didn't shout their favoritism. They whispered it in every silence, every glance that skipped past me. Even as adults, nothing changed. When I told them I'd been promoted to director of operations at the firm downtown, my mother didn't lift her eyes from chopping onions. "Director of what exactly?" she asked, as if the title were a foreign language. My father grunted over his newspaper. Must have been a slow year for candidates. Lauren smirked from the doorway. "Congrats, I guess. Anyway, Ava, can you fix my budget spreadsheet tonight? I'm drowning here." I should have snapped. Instead, I smiled the smallest smile I'd ever worn and said, "Bring everything to my office tomorrow. We'll sort it there." Mom frowned. "Your office? Why not just do it here?" Dad waved it off. "She likes to feel important." I didn't argue. I simply left. The next morning, my real office, 22nd floor, corner suite, my name etched in brushed steel on the door, waited exactly as it always did. My assistant had already replaced the flowers on the credenza and left a card from the team. "To the boss who actually deserves it." I traced the letters and felt the old ache loosen its grip. At 2:47 p.m., they arrived in the lobby looking like tourists who'd wandered into the wrong cathedral. Lauren clutched a bulging accordion folder like a life raft. Mom's lips were pressed so thin they'd disappeared. Dad kept adjusting his collar, eyes darting at the marble and the security desk, and the employees who nodded at me by name. "Ava." Lauren called, uncertain, as though someone might correct her. I walked over, heels silent on the polished floor. "This way." Mom squinted. "This is really where you work?" I pressed the elevator button for the executive floor. The ride up was 43 seconds of pure, exquisite quiet. Lauren tried a laugh that died halfway. "You're not like the coffee manager, right?" No answer. The doors slid open onto hushed carpet and glass walls. Colleagues greeted me. "Afternoon, Miss Harper. Great presentation this morning, Ava." And my family trailed behind like shadows that had lost their owner. We reached the end of the hall. I stopped in front of the door and stepped aside so the sign could do the talking. "Ava Harper, Director of Operations." The air left the corridor in one collective exhale. Mom's handbag slipped an inch down her arm. Dad's mouth opened, then closed. Lauren stared as if the letters might rearrange themselves into something less impossible. I pushed the door open. "After you." Inside, the city sprawled beyond floor-to-ceiling windows. Awards lined one wall. A framed photo of my team laughing at last year's retreat sat on the credenza. I circled the desk, sat in the chair that had my name stitched into the leather headrest, and waited. Lauren was first to break. This is yours? Like actually yours?" I gestured to the guest chairs. "Seat. Let's see that budget." They moved like people underwater. Mom kept glancing at the view as if the height itself was a personal betrayal. Dad studied the plaques like they were written in code. Lauren laid her pathetic folder on the desk and watched my hands. Hands she'd never considered capable. Flip through statements, color code priorities, draft a repayment plan in under 12 minutes. When I slid the neat stack back to her, the room was silent enough to hear the traffic 22 floors down. Dad finally spoke, voice rough. "We didn't know." "You never asked," I said. Mom tried for indignation and found none. "You could have said something." "Every time I did, you changed the subject." I stopped wasting words. Lauren's eyes glistened. I felt small. I met her gaze. "Now you know how I practiced." Mom looked at the nameplate again, then at me. "Ava, I lifted a hand, gentle but final. "I'm not looking for apologies today. I'm looking for the end of a story where my life is background noise to yours." I stood. "I'll help with the budget this once. After that, Lauren, you'll call a financial advisor like every other adult." And next time any of you assume you know what I'm worth, remember this room. They rose dazed and followed me back to the elevator. At the threshold, Dad paused. We're proud of you. The words sounded foreign in his mouth, but he forced them out anyway. The doors closed on their stunned faces. I didn't watch the numbers descend. Back in my office, the sun was setting fire to the skyline. My phone lit up. Text from Lauren, then Dad, clumsy and overdue. I let them sit unread for now. I locked up, walked through the lobby where the night guard called. Have a good one, Director Harper. And stepped into the evening air lighter than I'd ever been. Sometimes victory isn't a scream. Sometimes it's just letting them walk into the truth they refused to see, and closing the door behind them.